Hey you guys, what is up? But if you're new here, I am Mina. Guys, thank you so much. We are at 900 subscribers. Like, it's so crazy how fast you're going, and I really do appreciate the sun. I really do appreciate. Okay, and I love you. That one little shy girl in her canal doing her own thing, and you love it. Yes, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Okay, and currently I'm in a good location. We are about to have something.
Greeting guest is one who is resilient, productive, and intelligent. The beautiful scenery of the neighborhood, and an actress. A round of applause for the standing ovation. The first, Deloris Frimpong Manso.
Why? Now, me there. Bro, for 10 years, when come at the Bro, for 10 years, when come at me, interested. Who is interested in that? Yeah. I'm very happy to be here. I was supposed to speak at 10, but I'm bustled. But I had to wait. Now, come with Mujaho. But who don't see? I had to. Okay, so much has been said about me, and I am always open about my beginnings. About 16 years ago, I was homeless, and I keep saying this wherever I go. And a year ago, I was named of the year. Wow. In 2020, I was named Goa Woman of the Year, TV Personality of the Year. Last year, I was named the Young Achiever Female at the Sporting Man of the Year Award. And at that very event, the only females who were awarded was the CEO of Vodafone and myself. Names like Magdan, Ibrahim Mahama were awarded. I just want you to know the level that awards given us. So that we are clear. And then there was the 40 under 40 awards. I won the Journalist and TV Personality of the Year at the 40, and I'm just giving you the examples. I started with where I was 16 years ago, and I mentioned the awards I won last year, just so you know the contrast. My life is a typical rags to riches kind of story, and I can say that I am where I am today because I put my best foot forward. The woman that any young girl from an impoverished part of town can look up to. I am an example of you can make it no matter where you're coming from, your background, or what you have been to. Because I have made it, you too can make it. If you're looking for that example, there's one staring at you in the face this afternoon. Putting your best foot forward. It sounds like some big English. My definition of putting your best foot forward is just giving the best of yourself, no matter where you find, your life. I will just go straight to the point and share a few lessons that I've learned in life. And I'm sure that if you emulate those examples, the possibility that you will make it is high. If you do not make it, then not maybe you will feel away. I think that for me, the first thing that I relied solely on was and is God. God has been my pillar, and He has been the source of my resources. You all know where I started from. I was born, and I was raised there till I was like 11 years. My mom was doing fairly well. I had an absent father, and my mom was raising 3 kids. She was like partially a single mother. My dad was alive, but he he never bought us a school uniform or a shoe or even paid for our school fees. Staying in this mechanic shop, living with this friend and doing that and never knowing what the next. There are days when we didn't even know where the next meal was going to come from. But in all of that, I remember I used to look to God. I used to pray and believe that He was going to make a way for me, like in some way. Like I just knew I was going to get out of it. If I remember when we're living at this mechanic shop, we're like 4 or 5 ladies there, but I was there with them physically, but in spirit I knew that like I was too driven and I was so like crazy about my belief in God, and I was just fixated on the fact that I knew that I was going to get out of there. So I don't know where you are today, but then I keep saying that once you're so sure and you believe solely in God and not in some uncle or some boyfriend or something, and you know that God is going to create a way for you, you're definitely going to make it out of life. So the God factor is something that we can never do without. I can give you several examples and instances. You all know about my products, the delayed foods and the rest. I'll take you back to 10 years ago when I wanted to start the product. Even a year before that, that's 11 years ago, I went to Dubai. I was in the lounge of a hotel, seated having lunch, and I was seated by 2 white men, and they were having a conversation. And I heard one of them saying that more people are going to eat in the next 10 years than they've eaten in the past 50 years. That was all the message God said to me at the time. When I left, I couldn't shake that thing they said off. More people are going to eat in the next 10 years than they've eaten in the past 50 years. I don't know why they said that. When I got to Ghana, I kept thinking about what they were saying. I kept thinking about it. That was when I started having an interest in branching into food. And once I started building on that thought and fantasizing about going into food, one thing led to another, one thing led to another. And for me, it is God who placed those 2 people there for them to say that thing, for it to, linger on in my memory, for me to think about it, echoing, and then I followed up. And you know the rest of the story. I'm sure some of you have bought some of my products before.
Yes.
So God keeps, once you have God in your life, He will keep you aligned. He will find ways of connecting you to people who may not even hand you over, maybe give you money or something, but just drop something into your spirit, and that may change your life forever. And then my next lesson is that you should have you should find your passion. There are people who grow up to like 50 years and they will not even know why they came to this place called planet Earth. They may never find their passion. Some people will be a hairdresser today, tomorrow they are fashion designers, the next day they are this and that, want to do. And then I'll skip straight into my third point. Once you find what you want to do, you need to be consistent with it. You touch this, you stop, you touch that. Do you get to change courses at the university?
No.
But there are people who will be here, and then they are just not serious about it. They'll go to the lecture hall today, and then their next time will be like in 2 weeks' time, because they found other interest whilst at school. You will agree with me that if there's anybody who has been consistent with what she does, it's me. I've been on the Delay Show for close to 15 years. And I've not just been on it, I've been at number 1 for 15 years. Because every week, I make sure that I'm coming with a bang. I am conscious about it. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to achieve, and I make sure that I keep pushing. I'm consistent. You think there are days when I don't want to give up? There are days when I also want to find a boyfriend and go to Akusumbo and spend the weekend and get some nice foot rub, and just chill and not go on set and work. But whilst I was sitting there, they were testing me. You have to do this, you have to do that. This one is calling me. We are doing this, we are doing that. We're keeping at it. And when I'm talking about the Delay Show, it's not just a TV show. It's a commercial TV show. It's one of the highly commercial television programs on Ghanaian television. I can mention our sponsors from Vodafone to Samsung to Fido to Malta Guinness to Go TV. I can go on. The list is endless. It is highly decorated because I put in work and I've been consistent at it. And then you have to have a plan of a sort. That's our next point. You should plan your life. You can't just be there and be waiting for things to happen, some magic to happen. Nobody is going to do this thing called life for you. You have to plan it and do this thing called life. Some people are waiting on someone to come and rescue them. Nobody will rescue you. You have to pick up yourself and rescue yourself. Mathemasi. The people here who are like waiting for their Prince Charming to come and marry them. I know most ladies dream of marrying a rich man. I'm probably one of the few women who just dream of being the rich wife. Yeah, send me a man to power and pay. Yeah, so when Tracy was talking, she spoke of financial independence. You need to work, plan your life, and put yourself together in such a way that when you want to get something, you get something. You should grow to that level where you want your own bag, you want your own car, you want your own house, you want the best things in life. Me, I'm addicted to the finer things in life. I want the fine things in life. And I have to, nobody's going to give it to me like I said, so I have to work at it and make sure that I'm getting the fine things in life. It's all about planning. So we don't just wake up and say, oh, tomorrow we are going to interview Akosia Masa. We are meticulous, we plan. We know that this person is getting the bus. So my team will sit down, oh, let's interview this person, and we plan. Let's ask this question because this is the question that's going to get us traction and the trend and all of that. So everything is about planning.
Yes.
And you have to stay positive no matter what. You think everything was handed to me on a silver platter? No. When I came into our industry, it was older women and older people who used to speak Twi. And everybody was speaking English back then. The Jeremys and the Dorinandos and the Komla Jumos and stuff. I was called names, or Krasini on Tebrof. But if I can speak all the English in the world and I'm broke, what's the use? After all, will I take English to heaven? I want to be, I was like, you know what? I have to make a difference. Because in order to be irreplaceable, you have to make a difference. And my difference was the fact that I decided to speak Twi, and even though people threw things at me and called me names, I didn't budge. I was positive, and I was so sure that the Twi was what was going to get me out of wherever I was. And today, because of me, everyone is speaking Twi in Ghana. Even at first, when they are doing like TV commercials and stuff for very big brands, they will always end with English taglines. But today, no. All these big brands, some product like Ideal Milk, they have a tagline like Sochin like that. Because there was Peche like that.
Yeah.
So you can comfortably call me a pioneer because I started this.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you want to be irreplaceable, there to be different. And stay positive no matter what. People will call you names, they will tag you, and they will say whatever. But in the end, you all know the rest of the story. Me, I don't talk much. I just go straight to the point and I kill it. Who is having the last laugh today? It's me, Obiabwa.
Yes.
Makasa in all of this, you need to know your God. Know your passion. Stay consistent. You have a plan. Keep going and stay positive. Are there any questions? You have to get up. You don't have a choice. And you see, there's never an elevator to success. You have to use the staircase. I put in work. I put in my blood. I put in sweat. I worked hard, and it's paying off today. And see, when you're hungry like I was, you don't have an excuse. You go out there and make it. And for me, I'm one of those people who decided, say, I'm going out there to search for success, not success music. If you want to be successful, you need to want it so bad. It's not like you and you're wishful thinking, oh, and and it's not about, hey, I wish that I can make it in life. You need to go out there and hold the world by its lapels and move as a woman. The world is your oyster. Go out there and take over. Somebody must say it.
Give it up for her, please, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? One thing that I've learned from both of you.
Empowerment Summit. The young girl is proud to have a woman like you who she can look up to. Thank you.